I honor you all that are coming in, Benevolent Energy, here on YouTube Live at Blooming Light, at Blooming's Tribe. And I just saw 919. It is 9:19 a.m. Central Standard Time in the U.S., Beaumont, Texas. If you happen to be logging in on the original air date, I believe today is September the, I want to say it's September the 8th. Okay, 2025. Okay, otherwise, if you are just logging in later, just again, if you're a decent being, I honor you for watching. And if you are a returning viewer, subscriber that operates in a sincerity, benevolence, in other words, you're not one of my weird, crazy stalker killer, or you're not one of those energies, then again, I honor you and I honor you for being a part. And you all are a part of, should I say, you're a part of my why, okay? My why behind the what. My why is primarily my son and myself, and those that are similar to us, okay? Why I do what I do, but also y'all out there that are sincerely supporting, okay? Whether that's just you with your thoughts, it's not always monetary. Though monetary, you know what I'm saying, whoop, ain't nothing wrong with that. It's just that is not the heart, you know. It's not the heart. Okay, I didn't start that way. I won't finish that way. Okay, but there's definitely nothing wrong with that. I think that's a program in itself to make us feel, some kind of way. Meanwhile, the rich get richer. While we feel some kind of way about getting money. Ain't that some shit, nigga? Ain't that about a bitch? Anyway. Let me get back. Okay. So let's talk about Matrix #1. But I don't want to talk about the whole movie. Okay. There's just a piece of it that came to my mind yesterday. So we're not going to talk the whole movie. We're going to talk about this one piece, and then we're going to talk about what I feel like maybe is a parallel to what targeted individuals experience, okay? Because how many of us out here know that sometimes all of these movies, not all of them, but that there's some threads and some elements of truth. It may not be 100% to a wire, but there's little hidden gems and hidden elements and messages there. Okay, so in the Matrix, the whole thing is, okay, so once you can either take the blue pill or the red pill. If you take the red pill, then, which is the implication of somebody that's deciding to go down the rabbit hole, and they're deciding to come out of the sleep state, and they're deciding to see the reality. Okay, so you can either take the red pill or the blue pill. You can keep the illusion in your sleep state going as it's always been. If the person takes that red pill, it's like it's hell. It's like it's all glamorized, but truth be told, it's hell, because it's a shock to your nervous system. It's a shock to your body. It's a shock to everything that you've ever come to know. So that's very traumatizing in itself, okay? And then you go through that portion, and life as you know it is never the same, because you no longer have the bliss of ignorance. You are now forced, and you can't undo it. Well, you can, according to the movie, but you are forced to look at that for what it is. And when they took these red pills, it's like their life became hard, yo. They lived their life on the run, as is kind of sad, because it's like they lived their lives like they were the criminals, and they're not the criminals. Okay, some of them were criminals in the Matrix. Okay, I think Neo was a hacker. Okay, um, a drug dealer and a hacker or some shit like that. So now it's like they lived a life, it was hard. They lived their life on the run. They lost everything. They had to eat, you know what I'm saying, this yucky shit. They was in these raggedy clothes. They didn't get no support. They didn't have any resources except one another because the Matrix was not supporting. You see what I'm saying? Because the Matrix was not supporting them. And the fact that they could see through the illusion. So I believe, I wanted to talk about this. I believe that that's what targeted individuals experience. This is why we end up getting all of these attacks in all of these areas. It's the same thing. This is why there ends up being collaboration with all these higher ups, with all these various groups and all these various individuals, okay, because of this whole effect here. Just like they didn't have any support once they took that red pill, and they, you know, was just, they had to live on the run. They didn't have any resources, you know. It's the same thing because the Matrix wasn't supporting that. Likewise, with the targeted individuals, because the Matrix isn't supporting that. And when those that are ascending, or should I say awakening, like in the movie, if they do have careers and jobs, they do become sabotaged in some way. For the ones that's legitimately doing the shit, I should say. One way or the other, whether it is, you know what I'm saying, people get jealous, or like it's going to be some unnatural things that continually and consistently start to happen, even as the awakened ones attempt to, let's say, they attempt to regular it, if you will. I just made up a word, okay? If they attempt to do it and keep it, because, you know, money, you know, resources, because we're still in this physicality. So they're like, okay, I know that's not who I am. I know that there's, you know, more to me than this. This does not define me. This, you know, blase, you know, got churn, got responsibility, you know. And, you know, and that's the way of this realm. And so they do attempt that. But to me, it explains why you hear so many similar stories. So many similar, that across genders, culture, socioeconomic status, philosophical or political bents, you know, this is why you still kind of hear a trend of, yeah, and why is that? Now, it's not to be mixed in with, I'm trying to be careful because I see all sides of this thing, and I can see where it goes, where it's like, okay, some people just flake blooming, you know, you know, it's like, okay, I get that. I get it, but what I also get is usually not the ones that we think are. That's the fascinating thing about that. It's usually not the ones that we think are. It's usually the ones that know how to manipulate and schmooze and, you know, their way into shit that's under people's nose and they ain't even catching it. Okay? So, guys out there, listen, if I was like, dang, when I thought of that yesterday, I was like, yeah, they end up living like they criminals and shit. That's fucked up. That's how it is. They had to be running from the agents, you know. They could fight the agents, but then it's like they were surviving because they knew the truth. And the Matrix, the agents, in other words, the leadership, the powers that be, that benefits off of the illusion could jump in any of their bodies. Like, y'all remember the movie now. Just play with it metaphorically, okay? symbolically. The agents was able to do what in the first Matrix? I think in all of them, but for sure the first one. They were able to what? Jump in the bodies. Wasn't they? The bodies of who? Those that were asleep in the Matrix. Ooh, what does that sound like? I believe, metaphorically speaking, because, you know, of course, in the movie, we saw them transform, like the helicopter driver dude suddenly morphed into an agent, right? He went, blah, 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 and he turned into, you know, the agent. Well, metaphorically, I believe that in some way, the archons and it just manifests, the way I feel like it manifests physically is that people feel driven and they don't know why they're driven. There's an unnatural, remember I have a card that says unnatural? So they begin to get driven with no real, true, sensible explanation. And that's what I believe it is. That they become driven to do some stuff that maybe even in their real character, and let's say in their actual natural character, that they wouldn't even think of doing such shit. Like they wouldn't even consider such a thing, or they wouldn't even care. But for whatever reason, there's something, some unexplainable something that gets on them and drives them to become crazy stalker killers. That gets in them and they can't rest, bitch, until that's an entity. That's the program, an entity, bitch. It's something. And I believe that's how they are able to seem to be everywhere as well. Because it's like a unipro, it's like a what do they call it? They're on the same mainframe, or the oh my God, what is it called? The network. Yeah. So it's like a hive, you know, it's like they can send telepathic and, you know, weird. And then you got fusion centers now, shit, which is just another form. It's just another form of that. Because remember how no matter where Trinity or Neo or any of Morpheus, or no matter where they would move to, it's like their location was pinged. It was always pinged. And the only time it's like they had to do certain shit to, even when they was like, when they would go back, come out the Matrix, they still had to like do certain shit even then, because they were being followed, they were being pinged, and so they had to like create all this other shit. It's the same thing. And the fascinating thing about Neo, Trinity, Morpheus, you know, the whole thing is they were not, when we look at this movie from this perspective, they were not out to hurt anybody. But see, it's proof of how, like, okay, these people, he was a criminal in his Matrix life. That's the fascinating thing. He had a regular job, but he was also a criminal, you know, on a side hustle. Okay, he had his hustle. He was selling drugs, nigga, and motherfucker, he was a hacker. Okay, that's who Neo was. Anderson, Mr. Anderson. What was his name? What was his first name? But they called him Mr. What was it? Yeah, something Mr. Anderson. Anyway, so check. He was a criminal. He had a cubicle job. Okay, woo. But then when he woke up, he wasn't a criminal no more. Okay, he wasn't a criminal no more. He was just seeking knowledge and truth and trying to remember his origins versus the illusion that he was in, that he always felt like something was off and something was wrong. Okay, um, and that's all they did. And they simply were just kept trying to survive it, dealing with the trauma of it. Because imagine you thought you was something for 20 years, and you thought something was something for 20 years, and Eureka, it's not. That's traumatizing. So trying to recover from the trauma of realizing nothing was what you thought it was from the very fucking beginning. From your parents to your friends to your lovers to the bitches smiling in your face at the county office, bitch, to all of them. And then, it's like this shit, they random tore up clothes and shit. Have to be on the run. It's like, son of a bitch. That's why one of them motherfuckers was the Judas and shit. Weak ass nigga. Weak ass. He shouldn't ain't got woke in the first place. Then they should. That's why you know what I'm saying. Should just let some motherfuckers not be woke. Cause his weak ass couldn't handle it. He turns into Judas of his own tribe. Ain't that classic? With sorry motherfuckers, ain't that classic? That's all motherfuckers good for. Cause what, he wanted a bowl of beans. He wanted a bowl of beans. He missed the matrix. He wanted them bowl of beans, honey. So, he made him a deal to take the blue pill again. It's like, I don't want to know. I want to forget again, and then just make me somebody. If you make me somebody famous, ooh, sounds familiar. If you make if you make me somebody, you know what I'm saying, famous, known, I want to have some nice things and a lot of money and this and that, I will hand you Morpheus. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. I will hand you Morpheus. I will hand you the leader of the pack. Just make sure I want steak. I want the finer things. I don't want to remember none of this shit that happened here. Erase my memory. I just want I want to be famous. I want to be attractive. I want to have all these things, and I'm willing. And that's what people are now. The targeted individuals, that is what they live in this form. This comes in the form of their own family betraying them for black ops. This comes in the form of, their family and lovers, again, betraying them because somebody made a sweet deal. Okay? Whether that is all that I just mentioned. I'll make sure you're successful. I will make this go away. I will give you this amount of money and, stipend. I will cover you and protect you so you can do all sorts of vile shit. And we'll just make sure that it goes away as long as you're agreeing to hand us Morpheus. As long as you are willing to stalk Morpheus. As long as you are willing to try to unaliven Trinity. As long as you agree to and try to entrap Neo, Trinity, Morpheus, and keep an eye on them for us, we'll give you a new car. We'll pay your rent. We'll make your rap sheet turn into one sheet. We'll reduce your sentence. We'll reduce it, the charge, from felony to misdemeanor. We'll turn a blind eye. You agree to give us Neo, Trinity, Morpheus. You agree to harass them. You agree to stalk them. You agree to go in their garbage. If you agree, to torture their children, if you agree to break into their homes, if you agree shit. We'll turn a blind eye to your pervy ways. We'll pretend like we don't know you're a pedophile. We'll pretend. We'll look the other way as you violate children. As you violate disabled people. We'll pretend we have no knowledge of that. We'll pretend that we don't know that you are actually mentally ill. And we will use that and project that onto Neo and Trinity. Ain't that some shit? That's what happens. And again, isn't it fascinating how they are targeted, but they are actually doing nothing wrong? That's an undertone theme, I believe. It's just right in front of everybody. They're targeted, but they're actually not doing anything wrong. They're targeted, but they're actually not seeking to do harm to anybody. But they are targeted as if they were. I believe in the Matrix program version of it, they implied that they were dangerous and vigilantes. So when the agents, that's why when the cops were coming, agents, like, they were coming for them because they were given orders. Because they sleep. Remember now, their minds are hacked. They don't know that their minds are hacked, but they are. So they told them that basically Neo and Trinity were some kind of vigilantes. And, and just think about it. If you look at the movie, from that perspective, and if you're asleep and you don't know the backdrop of the story, you see Neo and you see Trinity whooping motherfuckers' asses like they on that motherfucker kicking ass bitch like they on drugs. So it looks, now play with that for a little bit, because if you're asleep and you're in the matrix and you're asleep and you're programmed and you don't know that you're in the matrix and that you're asleep and that you're programmed and that you get these orders that upon sight of Neo and of Trinity or Morpheus, like to attack and to go in with all force and to do all this stuff because they're crazy killer, basically projection. Anyway, because they're, all these things. And then basically they're just defending themselves. See, that's the thing about that. Yeah, we're seeing them whoop ass and tear shit up like, oh, they're not human. No, well, not altogether, no. But here's the point, though. They're defending. That's the thing. They're defending because as they're feeling drawn or called to the souls that are starting to beckon them to come, they're simply trying to survive it. They didn't target to go for these agents or to go for these cops per se. They had to defend themselves as they attempted to navigate through the matrix. I'm going to say it again. They had to defend themselves, protect themselves as they attempted to navigate through the matrix. But that was not their goal and intention to go look for all the agents and look for all motherfuckers and kill them and shit. That was not the goal. The goal was, we have a mission here, but we will do what's necessary if people get in our way. Bigger than your program. So here they come. Here they ass. Shit, so the Neo and them, they gotta do splits and cartwheels and shit, just to survive, bitch, because and Neo, you know what I'm saying? In the first part, Neo, it took him a while. He was traumatized because they said that he was actually wakened very late, and it's not really advised because to do it late because you have all of that cemented. It's even furtherly cemented into you. It's more traumatizing, the later in life. It was like, ideally, this process starts early because this is going to be traumatizing. And you're more resilient the younger you are, with dealing with all of that cognitive dissonance and all of those things that's going to happen. So he was still going through the changes and shit in Matrix when his ass was like, I ain't the one nigga. Shit, he just decided, he was like, yeah, I think y'all meant the lady. I'm not the one, mother. I know that's right. Yeah, Leo was like, yeah, because, yeah. I tried to do the jump, nigga, and I didn't make it. I think y'all got it wrong. He's like, I want to sign off because, I like y'all and everything. Thank you so much. But I want to sign off of this because I really feel like, I understand that you think I'm the one, but shit. See, that's what's funny. He was like, oh, come on. Y'all trying to tell me I'm going to be, I can't do that. Yeah. So he was running from shit up until he had his moment. I don't know what got Neo to his moment. I don't know, metaphorically speaking, how that relates to us, what gets us when we get there. Trinity told him, Morpheus told him, as he was like, what you trying to say? Trying to say, you know what I'm saying? I could dodge bullets, you know what I'm saying? What you trying to say? And Morpheus was like, well, what I'm saying is, once you're there, once you get ready, you won't even fucking have to. And that was some hefty shit. Like, what? Like, damn, nigga, what? Because basically, if you die in the Matrix, you die. You know, their speed is what kept them alive. Their agility. So it's like that's what they were doing. Like they were learning how to just outrun when them agents came and started coming for him and shooting. And I think there's a part in the movie where it's like he got fucked up. Neo got fucked up. Them agents and fucked his ass up. Holes all through his body. Fucked him up. He was dead. I think he died, if I'm not mistaken. I would have to go back and look. That's the first one back in 1999. I think he died for at least maybe 60 seconds or 2 minutes. Because, I mean, they lit him up. The agents lit his ass up. And he didn't, I don't know, he just wasn't ready. He didn't have that part yet, bitch. So, and so he was just on the ground. That was it. He took the hit. It was over. And until it wasn't. Why was it not over? I don't know. I know that Trinity, you know, played a role, but I don't know how that really. She just spoke. She just spoke to him. She just spoke. And I don't know if that connected to his consciousness part or something to make him, help him to accept his sovereignty or something. I don't know. But I find that fascinating. He comes back into himself, and with the holes all over, he stands up. Now, viewer discretion is advised. We ain't finna be out here trying to do this shit. This is metaphorically speaking. Okay, y'all don't be extra now. Okay, let's have some sense here. So, but you know, he gets up and it's like, ooh, you know, the music change and shit, bitch. And then he's like slow, he's all calm. Like I like that part. That's like one of my favorite scenes. Cause he gets up and he ain't even frantic, he ain't anxiety, you know, he ain't none of that shit. No. He gets up and he just like in slow motion and shit. He stands up and the agents are upset, they looking at him. And so here they go, they finna blast at him again. And he just put his hand up. He's like, no. Just like turned his head. He's like, no. Put his hand up. And they went to town. They did it again, went to town. And he was like, no. And so they all came, and once they got to his biofield, them things stopped right there. Pop! And he tilted his head, and so did them bullets. Pop! And spooked the fuck out of them. Tore their ass up after that. Tore their ass up. And he was doing it slow too. It's like he wasn't even exerting the way he used to. He used to have to exert the same way. He was just like doing some shit, moving smooth with it, just smooth with it. Boom, bitch. Like, nigga, what? Nigga, what, nigga? Okay, yeah, guts. And like they were going to town. Pop, 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 pop. Like they was just, yeah. I believe that maybe metaphorically, maybe at some point, this is where the targeted individuals get to at some point. Okay, but I think that that's a process that we got to go through to kind of get there. And I don't know what that is, but kind of where you're just no longer afraid, you're no longer scared, you no longer care, you no longer, you know, you're tapped into your sovereignty. Not that you, it's not that you can't die. It's just, you no longer really care, or some of us already died though. That's what's funny to me too. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Because some of us, if we're going to recall that we've died possibly more than once. in this carnation. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's interesting, huh? Hmm. Child. It's like, I ain't finished yet. I'm still not finished. I have 9 lives, nigga. I have more shit to kick ass until this shit, my people ain't finna to do this reincarnation loop no more. I see we finna put this on black, and I'm finna, I gotta deal with this. I gotta deal with these skanks and these different bloodlines. You know what I'm saying? These trollops and these nunches of niggas. Their asses then become emasculated and shit. What the fuck? Up here, it's done. It's gone. It's sleep as fuck. This is clueless. Anywho, there you go. The Matrix, #1. Okay, the whole scene of what happens. The purpose of this video was really more so about how they don't get supported. Their resources get attacked. That's one of the main themes of awakened individuals, or should we say consciously expanded, evolved, is that they're assaulted in this natural form, very strongly assaulted, and sabotaged from the beginning. Okay, which makes them often come off as folks that don't have any sense of direction, any sense of purpose, any stability or structure, but that's really not the case. Most of these individuals are brilliant. Brilliant. This is why there's so many energies after them to fucking begin with. Ain't nobody after no dumb shit, nigga. Shit. 1 + 1 equals. Ain't nobody after no shit that ain't relevant. The fuck? That's why they want to map their mind now. That's what they trying to ping their mind now, nigga. That's why they copying shit now. It ain't because they dumb. Yeah, right. People gonna expend their money, time, energy, and resources on something that's dumb, not relevant, weak. That don't even make sense when you say it out loud. Because that same time is money. So you mean to tell me people want to throw away money on something that's dumb? Yeah. The thing is, they want Neo, Trinity, and Morpheus to be convinced that they're dumb or not relevant. Don't nobody need to be stalking motherfuckers that ain't relevant. Are you gonna stalk the homeless dude or the homeless chick that sleeps under the freeway? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Does the masses care about those energies in truth? I'm not talking about their 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 fake philanthropy that you see posted all over social media. I'm saying, do they give a fuck? Do they actually care about the goings ons of a motherfucker sleep? Do they give a fuck? Do they care about the goings ons, them going about the to and froing? Do they care about what their interests are? Do they care about, who they're talking to? Do they care about what they're wearing and what they look like? Do they care about any of the? No, they do not care. They can't. They don't even care long enough to do anything about their condition. In fact, they want to penalize them, which is only proven the toxic abuse culture to fucking begin with. If we want to criminalize shit, we need to be criminalizing these criminal enterprises. Criminalize some shit. Criminalize the judicial system not being able to get real bad guys. Shit, let's make that criminalized, bitch. Ain't that what we paying them for? Shit. Let's criminalize that. You can catch some real bad guys. We need that to be done. We need that to be done today. We need you to reroute your manpower and hours and resources off of the targeted individuals and onto some real trash motherfuckers. Out here terrorizing communities for shit. Menace to societies, the real ones. These drug dealers pushing it in their own fucking people. Go get them. Can you do that? Can y'all do that? Do they not do that? Can you do that? These human traffickers, sex traffickers, we get a ding every other day, at least once a week, about a motherfucker. Could you fix that shit? Shit. Can you fix that? The old people being taken advantage of in some of these places, especially the ones that don't got nobody and that they know that don't got nobody. Can you do that, motherfucker? The disabled people, once again, that they feel like are dispensable. Some of these people finna have their own children afflicted because they shouldn't have spoken. They shouldn't have put their mouth. They should have shut the fuck up. That's the way of the human. They run their mouth and then, oops, eureka, Tiny Tim is finna get his diagnosis. That's right. Because you were talking about somebody else's disabled child or young adult or whatever. You should have shut the fuck up. Now you're going to get a front row seat in your own life. Talking about Rain Man. And it's finna rain man on these motherfuckers. Okay. So, okay, collective. You got a major coming out as the lead for you. Strength. You've gained your personal power, Neo, Trinity. Okay? It says personal power and assertiveness, even though you still have kindness. Kindness to yourself, compassion that brings about forgiveness to yourself, realizing that you're stronger than you knew. So many of you felt like this whole process, or will feel like as target individuals, that this whole process is like, this is going, I'm finna die. I'm going down. I'm finna die, motherfucker. I'm finna die. I'm finna die. I'm finna die. Okay. But it's like you're stronger. And some of you have been strong since a kid. I have a page here. And then I have a dolphin in the background of it. And then she's a mermaid. You might be a fucking mermaid. A fucking siren. Or something. For some of you. Because it has here, Page of Cups. Sensitive. Open-hearted. It created a lot for some of you. Put a little bit more stank on that for me. A little bit more stanky stank. A romantic encounter, social invitation, heightened psychic ability. So you appeared moody and didn't know why. The card says something about that here. Ooh. It's the sensitivity, though, to all of this stuff. Again, that's that empathic shit. To all these environments, all of these energies, all of these vibrations. And for some of you, all of the spell work, because some of you have had this, your energy manipulated since a child with this page. Okay. Okay. Very strong, though. And then I have the Page of Cups to the Two of Cups. It says falling in love. Or the resurgence of a resurgence of a romantic relationship. Really? And the ending of challenges, exchanging gifts. Don't give up on people you love. Aww. There was interference. There were people, of course, well, that was like the movie. There was interference. Eight of Swords. There was illusions. This is the matrix, the illusion of entanglement. That's what this card says. To affect your confidence, to make you feel helpless, making you somebody feel afraid to take an action. And it says, take responsibility for your life now. And in this depiction, somebody is coming out of the gate. So the Eight of Swords is being moved out, like somebody's coming out of whatever jail, bitch. Yeah. Somebody could have been working hard while in jail, or you could have been working hard while feeling stuck in an illusion. Okay. Collective. Yeah, you strong. You strong. Whatever has happened, again, I'm not the type to advocate, oh, whatever, okay, you know, I think that sucks. I think that's unfortunate because it's this energy of you gotta fucking maim a motherfucker. That's ridiculous. So I don't advocate for this. I'm not going to downplay any of this shit, abuse, adult abuse, abuse to disabled people. You know, I'm not. These people need to be studied, and anybody who is co-signing for such, covering for such, participating in such, and benefiting of such needs to be studied. Okay, they need to be put in a special place and studied. However, what's coming out is you're strong as fuck. I got strength, 8 of Pentacles, and the Empress, nigga. Oof, you finna get you some goody newsy news, bitch. Huh? You getting your spark back, and it's gonna get you this Page of Wands to the Empress. This is good news. Oh, wise counsel. Okay, there's source. There is the original, the creator of light, the creator of all, not program, tyrant, archon. The originals. It says wise counselor. Some of you have become that. Wow. Asking source for help and trust the answers. Comparing traditional methods with new ideas to see which is best for you. Exactly. Exactly. You've been working pretty damn hard. You had a lot of blockages, a lot of stubborn energy, a lot of traditionalist since you were young. But this is beautiful because, I mean, these are all good. Yes. Okay, this ego, the devil just came out in the reverse. So it says the illusion. Once again, with illusion. The illusion of being trapped. Accept responsibility for your situation, of course. And then, listen, you see how I said it says, okay, and then just make choices that support your path to happiness. Addictions or unhealthy habits. Okay, it's going in reverse. There's been a lot of resistance to you trying to free yourself, and maybe a lot of religious restrictions and outdated programs and things like that. Yeah, there she is. I was waiting for it. As soon as I flipped it over. I was like, y'all didn't have people obsessed with sending shit to you, or addiction. Some of you masculines had addictions to femme fatales, karmic feminine energy, with this Queen of Wands in the reverse, which is for me as a karmic energy, or somebody that's insecure. Feminine, if this is about you, you overcame your insecurities. Okay? Understanding that people was sending shit to your ass. That it didn't have shit to do, bitch. With what they wanted you to believe it has something to do with. People was trying to make, they had to uglify you, feminine. Yeah, I made up a word. Motherfuckers had to uglify you. That's right. These so-called secure women and men had to uglify you. These so-called secure men and women had to sabotage your life. I'm going to say it again. These so-called secure men and women had to sabotage your life. They had to uglify you. And before you were in your Trinity, you know, much like with Neo, before he was in his Neo, this was an attack on your confidence in yourself, so that you would believe there must have been something wrong with you, so that you would believe. Yeah, listen, this self-love, again, there's the dolphins again. We have the dolphins in the page, and we have the dolphins with this Ace of Cups. Since a baby, people had attached, whoever y'all's caretakers were, for some of you, you're going to find out later in life, I don't care how buttoned up these motherfuckers look, you're going to find out they whole ass. Did some weird shitty shit. That's why some of y'all, ooh, since some of y'all been dealing with this shit since you were a baby, that's why up to date some shit is going the way it's going. Cause you ain't new. You didn't had shit sent to you and attached to you and assaulting you since you was fucking baby. Good gravy. But listen, you have this self-love. You know, you've loved on yourself through these challenges. You face your own belief systems, traditions. You've been evaluating things, and you know, to see what's going to work for you with this Eight of Pentacles and this strength, to see what was going to be empowering for you, to see what would be more liberating for you, leading to the ego. Because this card says the devil, but it says ego. In the reverse to the Ace of Cups. That's ego death, and not really a real ego death in a sense of the way it's used in mainstream, but just getting through the illusions, the bullshit, the trauma. Your own, you know, the stuff that we accumulate because of the bullshit, basically. Some people are addicted to manipulation with that Queen of Wands in reverse, whether it's a man or a woman, but that's a tendency to use toxic femininity, a form of toxic femininity, in order to control or to get what one wants. And there are some people that's addicted to that, and these are some of the main people that have a problem with Neo and Trinity. Because that's, you know, to them, and their thinking, it puts a damper on what they got going. Because if people are getting free and liberated, how is they shit supposed to work properly then? Okay, let's just put it like that. Let's make it plain. Let's just get for real for a couple few minutes and stop bullshitting. if people become liberated within themselves for real, for real, for real, for real, for real, for real. So that means they're overcoming their addictions. That means they're overcoming their insecurities. That means that they're dealing with, you know, their own traumas and drama, and they're dealing with the BS within themselves and the BS that they were born into, and the blah, 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 blah. And if they truly get there, then how are the people, these motherfuckers, going to be able to work their works good and proper without a problem? How are they going to be able to manipulate them and keep them in a manipulated state? How are they going to be able to continue to make them their workhorse, their work mule? How are they going to continue That's why the feminine has such a hefty assault, because even though she was doing nothing but trying to liberate her own damn self and her children and trying to alchemize her life as a byproduct, it shone light on her life, which means anybody who was a part of any of that, that means as a byproduct, that's what happens. So then she collected a whole nother slew of enemies as she attempts to defend her and her children's sovereign rights, lefts, ups, downs, all arounds, in the nows. To be. And to not be harassed and terrorized in somebody's fucking battery source. Then motherfuckers upset because unbeknownst to feminine, in the wake of her moving on and going whatever the fuck, other motherfuckers out here in these here streets, some of them, not all of them, some of them start wanting to be better people. And you would thought you would have broke some real major law the way these motherfuckers out here acting, huh? Because some motherfuckers want to be decent motherfuckers. That's the way these some bitches is acting. Yeah, you dealt with a lot of selfish people that were only concerned about their wishes fulfillment. And, you know, at your guys' expense. However, you are going into your wish fulfillment here with the 9. A lot of water. So I have water, earth, fire. It says wishes come true. Your dreams become reality. A magical time. Good fortune. People want a good fortune off of you. The universe, all is going to be well. Okay. And thought y'all was supposed to just be cool with that while y'all dry up and die as they suck the life of you and your kids. And y'all supposed to just, nah, I require full payments. I require it, demand it. I demand it. I command it. I sure do. It ain't gonna be well for nothing and nobody till that. Now, check up. Hey, collectively, they wanted y'all miserable. You're the master of misery, and you turned it into victory. because you didn't have shit on you since you were born. But here's the thing. Now they're going to have to live in misery as they attempt to cause misery. Ten of Cups. They didn't tell them people that part, collective. They didn't tell them that part. They didn't tell none of these practitioners, none of these groups, none of these communities. Now, they didn't tell them. Of course they didn't. Of course they didn't. And tell that part. By the way, this is actually, this person is and they didn't have some top of the line motherfuckers in humanity doing shit on them. So they are familiar with their energy, their soul, the essence of who they are, very much familiar with all of this shit. They didn't been tortured this whole time. They didn't had death sent for them since they came out of whoever the fuck hoo-ha, possibly when they was in utero. They had whole covens, groups. It wasn't just some mom and pop garage. Yeah, they didn't have the mom and pop garage motherfuckers too. But no, honey. No. Oopsie. They didn't say that part. Yeah, here's death. Okay. I have 3 wands in the death. What happened in the past? That's the you went through a major transformation through loss. Major transformation through loss. Through, things stolen. Also to do with, maybe stuff that was stolen as a result of other people's death. Because of their... Let me tell you something. 7 of Cups, make a choice, stop procrastinating, over-analyzing, getting clarity, too many options, addictions. It's going in the reverse. I like that the 7 of Cups with ego is going in reverse. So you all are no longer entertaining addictions. You're no longer, or being called to, okay, depends on who you are and where you at with it, okay? Yeah, illusions passing. People that was addicted to poisoning your options, okay, also as well. And then I have the 4 of Wands in the upright. So much to celebrate. You guys have something to celebrate here. You've overcome a lot, even though, the matrix, if you will, metaphorically speaking, tries to make sure that your resources, are hindered and restricted in some way. Yeah. This ascension has caused some clarity to come forth about some of you all's origins and your mothers or caretakers here with this 10 of Wands. The burdens that they have put on you, the baggages and burdens that people have, because that could also be like a karma, trauma dumping onto somebody, abuse. And here it is. There's a tower. Here's a tower. There's something coming through here. I wonder what's this. Is this a good tower? Shit. It says a significant life experience that requires changes to be made, powerful and often unexpected revelations, okay? Breaking free of procrastination and letting go of old belief systems. Oh, this is the shattering of the belief system. Yeah, that's the dark night. That's the dark night. That's them, them phases where you go, ooh. This could have happened when you were a little bit younger, maybe your teens, 20s, because I have a knight here, you know, a knight of wands, you know. Shit, this is also overcoming player, chasing the shiny, objects and shit, because a knight of wands, it's about the excitement, it's about the high, it's about the thrill, it's about, good time Charlie, you know. Good time Sally, being driven by those types of things. Okay, let's see. Okay, and so this is going to be a good tower. So I have a page of wands following it. So for some of y'all, this is leading Trinity, Neo. I gotta come up with the black version. Let me see. The black version. I gotta come up with the melanated version, because technically we're not black anyway, but that's another video. The melanated version of that. So instead of Trinity, it's gonna be Trisha. Well, let's see. Instead of Trinity, it's gonna be, let's see, what's gonna be? Tanya, Trisha. Yeah, those sound melanated. Those sound melanated. Okay, so it's gonna be Trisha. Instead of Neo, it's gonna be, what's gonna be a black version? Let's see, Neo. It's gonna be what's a good one for Neo? Neo. I mean, Neo even kind of sound melanated, but let's see. Nathan. Does Nathan sound? No. Let's see. Neo. Nathan, Nick, it's not a lot of melanated in, let's see, Nick, Nathan, I'll figure it out later, getting off track. So what is this good news that is leading to, depending on the timeline? Remember, past, present, future. Depends on where we're at, if this is even our story. I'm still kind of shaking my head of how that works, okay? Because it can be very, yeah. It's like, what the hell? Well, technically, it's all happening at one time. Oh, okay, that's a little bit too much, that's too much. Too much metaphysical shit. Quantum physics and shit. What is this? Okay, so the good news is, because I said, so what is this good news that y'all's, or somebody's fencing to have or whatever? I have the Page of Wands with 7 of Pentacles. It says seeds well planted. You guys have worked really hard. Many of you felt like people kept stealing your seeds. Okay, a time for resting and planning for the future. Shit, because y'all like shit. Yeah, it's hidden. Something is hidden. Okay, what's this good news? Why is it hidden though? Ooh, an opportunity. Why is it? Oh. I got 4 of Cups in the reverse. There's an opportunity here. I need this opportunity. What is this? There's some kind of magical opportunity at this time. Clearing out distractions. Taking advantage. Let's see. Okay, something with justice is in the reverse. What is this? What is this? Two of Swords reverse. What don't we know? Because this is the good news. There is some good news. There's a good news. That's odd. I can't. Seeing something clearly, or a choice being made, taking advantage of some kind of opportunity, good news, the Hermit, something to do with going within and gaining some kind of insight about the judicial system, or justice being in the reverse, something being unfair, something that was hidden. Oh, balance is being restored as somebody is going within. Maybe Virgo is involved, Taurus, Leo, Capricorn, Libra. There's an ace. Two aces is back to back. There's something. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I got the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. Okay. All these aces are back to back. Never. They're back to back. Ace of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, Two of Pentacles. Whatever this confusion has been about something here, to keep you in confusion and blockages. You're being held in high honor. Six of Wands. There is a victory they're trying to hide, or they will try to hide, depending on, where we're at. There's a victory here. Yeah, they're still trying to play in my energy. Can't help it. You can't help it, mental patient. Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. Six of Swords in reverse. The shit that these people wanted to do to win at all costs for their selfish reasons. Yeah. They're being dealt with. There's something hidden, and they're Queen of Wands reverse. So for some of you, it's two karmic feminine energies. The Queen of Wands reverse and the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. So it could be a Capricorn and a fire sign. A Cap, an earth, and a fire. Yeah, Queen of Wands, Five of Wands. The jealousy. I'm in reverse. Something is ricocheted. King of Cups. King of Cups ain't always the exact same person. Neither is any of the other suits, okay? And courts. It can be numerous of different people, depending on the story, okay? Oh, this could be a King of Cups that died, because I have death here. So Pisces, Cancer, a Scorpio that could have died, possibly. And so it is. And so it is. Okay. So what's in your favor in this moment? And we'll get how you're going to feel about that, and we're done. And so it is. Something in your favor of community is going in the reverse. What's in the favor of the collective? Okay, this dishonor, high honor in the reverse is community. Ooh-wee. Them being seen as thieves. This marriage, some kind of marriage, that was dishonorable marriage. Okay, that's going to go in your favor, especially if people put you in some shit. Oh, Lord. Man, dumbass. Community in the reverse. Again, this dishonorable community. High honor community in the reverse. Main female in reverse. This is a younger woman. This is Spencer actually going in your favor. This marriage, ooh-wee. This wealthy man, this wealthy man in reverse. Adjudication in the upright. This is going in your favor. So how's the collective going to feel about whatever this is since it's in their favor? If it's in their favor, this high honor reverse, this community reverse, this main female reverse, marriage, adjudication, you're going to be excited. Are you getting married? What is this? I don't know. You're going to be happy because gloomy came in the reverse. So that means you're going to be happy. You're going to end up happy, excited. Interesting. They're going to be mad. It fell on high honor in the reverse. Mad. They're going to be mad because somebody's not going to be shy about something. They're not going to be terrific about this. They're not going to feel terrific about something going in your favor with the judicial system or justice getting served for you. You're going to be happy, you and your children, because this is like a special needs child on the picture, like you can tell on their face. So something is going to, yeah, these people are going to get chewed the fuck up. For some of y'all, it's because of what they did to what's supposed to be a protected population. You don't supposed to be fucking with them, you retarded cunt. Retarded niggas. Dumbass. Excited. Yeah, you're going to be excited. Because people are going to like, this is disgusting. There's some people, yeah, throat chakra, it's disgusting. Some of these people, I wouldn't be surprised if some of them get their ass beat. I'm serious. I wouldn't be surprised if I end up finding something out like folks, you know, rando shit that ain't got nothing to do with the collective. You know what I'm saying, you getting involved with nothing, but because of this bullying nature, this I'm larger than life, you know, nobody can tell me nothing, and I know this person and that person and something, they can get their fucking ass beat. They're going to show up at school, at Lamar College. They're going to show up. They're going to show up. People got them license plate numbers, baby. These people are going to be disappointed, bored, because I have gloomy in reverse, disgusted. Why? I don't get it. This is in the favor of the collective. I have irritated going into the reverse. So you were irritated. These people wanted you to stay in some kind of irritation, but whatever this is that's going to work out for you, that's going to dissipate. Okay? Embarrassed is going in reverse. You know, these people are trying to embarrass and humiliate you. That's going into reverse. I have scared going into the reverse. Yeah, whatever they were doing. Mad, glad, disappointed. Some of you may be concerned, or you may, if not concerned, you may be wondering, okay, so you may be wondering, like, so what are these people going to do because justice is going to be in your favor, or something is supposed to end up turning in your favor? So, because they've already proven the fact that they don't connect dots or make sense of things or learn lessons or do any of that. They've already shown that when they do get ramification, that they don't know how to go within to course correct. They just simply continue to seek other vengeance, new and innovative ways to do shit. Because I'm saying that because of the way the cards are coming out. Yeah. Yeah, because look, you got crabby in the reverse. So that means something is happening that that's gonna lift your spirits. And with worried here, it could be because of how brave you've been. And look at that, that's just how brave you've been. You've had to worry a lot and dealt with a lot of hurt. But now it's like, okay, when this is changing, what are these people? Because if some of these people, if you don't put them down like a rabid dog, I'm not sorry to say that, but that's just the way I feel. That's how some of these beings are, because they are possessed. They're possessed with those, whatever it is. I don't give a fuck what they want to call it. They're possessed. Okay. So what do you need to know about that? Because maybe y'all shouldn't really worry about it. I know that's easier said than done. I hate when people say that to me. Okay, so something to do with what was put in the name of a child. Maybe you're about to find something out on the phone, because it fell on my phone. Okay, something that was put either in the name of a child or a relative. And a child could be maybe their child that's an adult, that's 18, 19, 20. So, okay. You're about to escape these son of bitches for good. Yep. These people lack empathy and compassion. They lacked it, and so they're about to reap that lack of empathy and compassion. They didn't care. These people, they went in for jugglers on you and your children, and that's exactly what's going to happen to them. And for some of you, it's these karmic women that's about to experience it. It says karmic women that's stalking feminine. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Black empty. That's what I said. Some of these people need to shut up. They should have shut up a long time ago, because they're about to get a front row seat in their life to experience the shit that they sitting up there like they better. Like they're better than running their damn mouths with their mental illness. Yep. Karmic masculine living in regret, living in hell. Regret, living in hell. Okay. They're going to be sick, trying to harvest off of you and your children, off of what you create to clear trauma for yourself. They ass gonna get contorted. That deformity entity is fencing. Yeah, they know what they play with. They know what they play with. Oh, come on now. They know what they playing with. They know. They know what they done sent to the collector. That thing finna wrap around these niggas. These niggas and hoes, they might as well just go on ahead, get ready to get they sticker to put in their car, bitch, cause they wanted you handicapped. Okay, they fencing to be handicapped.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm. They wanted you handicapped, collective. They tried to handicap you, and then they attacked your handicapped children, and they're about to be handicapped. Ah, the entity of deformity is about to make some rounds.